value boosters, price increases, and BloomBurrow Mechanics coming right up. Thanks for joining me here at Wizards Whimsy. I'm your host, Patrick. I want to thank you for tuning in, and I hope that you find this information useful, helpful, or informative. Please make sure to hit that subscribe button, like button, and go ahead and share the video, and leave a comment. Let me know what you think about this. We're going to jump right into it. First up, we'll go ahead and get the bad news out of the way. You have the value boosters coming out with BloomBurrow, and they'll be probably placed on like impulse aisles next to the registers at stores. They're 7-card packs that have you can get 0 to 2 rares in those packs, and there's no price yet on what that's going to cost. Most likely you'll open up a 0 rare pack. Occasionally you'll probably get 1 rare. You might get a special guest, something like that. We do know that the Magic players and collectors are not the target audience for those value boosters. It's basically for impulse buying, getting people that are kind of addicted to cracking packs, giving them a cheaper option to scratch that itch, if you will. And it's also just so that when little Timmy's sitting there with mom and dad, and he can look over and see at checkout, hey, there's these, and get the parents to buy them. So again, it's not something that's targeted towards the competitive player or the collectors. It's just something that's targeted for impulse buyers. Now, the thing that is going to affect the collectors and the players is the price increase that's coming with Duskmourn. It's going to be about $30 to $33 more per play booster box than what you paid for BloomBurrow booster boxes. Now, there's no indication of why there's that price increase and why it's such a large price increase. But if you go online right now and start looking and try to pre-order, you'll notice that there is a $30 price increase on those. Hopefully your local game store can get a better deal, most likely not. So you can expect to pay more for a play booster box starting with Duskmourn. The best way to let Wizards of the Coast know of your disapproval is to just not buy their product. Now, FOMO is real, fear of missing out. You can still buy the singles, just don't buy the booster boxes. And it hurts them, it hurts their pocketbook, and they'll see that, hey, this isn't working, this is not what the players want, this is not what we can get from the players, so we need to back off on that price. There'll probably be a lot of product open no matter what, so I don't expect the singles to really be spiked up super high unless they have like a very powerful card that warps one of the formats. So again, look at buying the singles from that set and letting Wizards know that you're not okay with that price increase. We're going to talk about the mechanics of BloomBurrow, and they do have some fun mechanics. Now, first up, we want to talk about the Offspring mechanic. You'll pay 2 additional mana to the regular casting cost, and you'll create a token copy of that creature, except that it is a 1/1 and it is a token. Now, the token does have the same mana value as the original card, and you'll get the effects of the original card off of the token. The next mechanic is the gift mechanic. You can gift a card or a token to an opponent whenever you cast certain spells. If you gift a card, they get to draw a card, or if you gift a token, they get a tapped fish token. Now, in order for them to get either one of these, the spell has to resolve. So if you're casting a spell and you choose your opponent and you decide to gift them a card, they don't get to draw the card and then counter the spell. The spell has to resolve, but before the effects of the spell actually take place, the opponent does get to draw the card or get the token. Now also, if it's something that targets a creature or something like that, it cannot target the token that you are gifting. Forage is the next mechanic that we want to talk about, and this is basically escape, but it does have an alternate to exiling cards from your graveyard. You can sacrifice a food token instead. So you can either exile 3 cards from your graveyard, or sacrifice a food token. And it's certain creatures that give this ability. If you sacrifice the food, you're not gaining the life because you're sacrificing it to pay the cost of activating this ability of Forge. The next mechanic is Valiant, and you can do this on your turn or your opponent's turn. And basically what it is, if your creature that has Valiant is targeted by a spell or an ability you control, it gets a benefit. It could be a +1/+1 counter on it. It could be +1/+1 till end of turn. It just depends on how the card reads, but the Valiant will be able to be triggered on your turn or your opponent's turn as long as you're targeting your creature with your spell. Paw Print Season, I'm not sure if it's a mechanic. We'll go ahead and lump this in as a mechanic, and it's on the season cards, and each color has a season. So what it is that you cast a spell, and you have 3 modes to choose from, and you can spend up to 5 paw prints on any number of the modes. So if it's 1, you can do that 5 times. If it's 2, you can do it twice with a single mode, or if it's the 3, you can do the 3 plus the 2, or the 3 plus the 1 and the 1, but you get to expend 5 paw prints, and you get the effect. You could have the single paw print effect 5 times, and the other ones will have to equal up to 5 whenever you cast a spell. The last mechanic we're going to talk about is Expend, and this mechanic has, whenever you spend mana, depending on what the expend is on the card, if it's 4, whenever you expend your 4th mana, it will trigger. If it's expend 8, whenever you spend your 8th mana, it triggers. Now, if you spend 4 mana, 5 mana to cast the creature spell, it does not see that expend cost, so you'll have to wait your next turn. Now, there is one creature I've seen so far that has expend 4 and expend 8, and it is a 3-drop, so it can trigger on the turn that it comes out. Hey, thanks for checking out this video. Hit that subscribe button, like button, and leave a comment. Let me know what your thoughts are on the content of this video. Now, we went over value boosters, price increases, and the mechanics of BloomBurrow. I'd love to hear your thoughts on any of those or all of those, so make sure you leave that comment below. And until next time, keep slinging those spells.